Especially on a map like Overpass, things can go desperately wrong very quickly. Now, Nico's been tagged up initially already. That's down to 78 for him. Crystal smoking a Molotov is all he's got. But look at how Heroic are playing this with 4 players over towards the A bomb side early on. Borp is keeping his retreat bots primarily back towards Divider and Connector. So he's actually fairly lucky that GODSENT aren't going for a faster paced play, because at this stage, no one's actually bled through on Heroic's side into B short. And as a result of that, if GODSENT just wanted to contest him in words, his trajectory back cannot be through Connector. And that makes it a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, and we expect this to be the standard set here for GODSENT. They love a little bit of connector control, opening up their options. See Borp force back, Down and Borp combining for a couple of frags, though, and they're eventually going to get tracked down. Zen hot on the heels of the second. Tessus is very low, so he just has to keep running, but his pathway has been blocked off. Zen's going to get there too quickly, and that's an easy enough kill to find.
Quick equalization, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, Crystal having a lot of utility makes this incredibly tricky. Now, keep an eye on Cadian, because he's going to be the big one for this map. GODSENT, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they're very much like old school Pronax. They're very happy to rotate back when there's 30 seconds left on the clock, but Cadian is expecting it. Smoke goes over, Zen takes contact, and with the Molotov there as well, it seems like Cadian might not be as useful as I thought he would be. They're going back towards the A bomb side, but Nico's dropped the bomb, and Nico's going for more. Crystal will trade. Yes, the USB chiming in nice and true, but Down still good for the kill. Cadian being able to spot the utility means that, hey, I know I said he wasn't as useful, but spotting the utility means he knows it's a fake. So yeah, no rotations come through later on into the round as well. And now GODSENT, they have to go for the full Deagle round. And although we do always say, yeah, GODSENT wins these most of the times, it'll be a little bit harder to do versus Heroic.
Well, that said, they did win a couple on Nuke. Certainly still the chance. Stico going to get dropped nice and early on. He was the solitary player sent over towards B. Tessus, though, in a very difficult position. There's going to be a couple angles he needs to be concerned about. That smoke doesn't provide full coverage. Cadian can now pick it up, but he's low.
Oh, Cadian. Needed another kill over there, and with Zen finding 2, suddenly things are very expensive at the CT side. Deagle in Crystal's hands means that a long-range duel could very quickly go awry as well. Now, admittedly, both these players are low enough that this should be a secure round from Heroic. But even so, for GODSENT, it's all about damage at this point, Michael.
Yeah.
And can they really get it done?
Borp at least segments them. He's outside of the connector. He can peer and spot the feet if they do decide to go back towards the B site. I mean, 20 seconds, and they haven't really made a move. They've got a decent amount of utility if they wanted to bring that into the next round. It's a bit of an odd choice to make, though.
Yeah.
This changes the buying pattern so much on the T side.
I'm very confused. No, okay, I'll play devil's advocate.
This round, though.
I guess, but at the same time, it's also that Crystal has himself an MP9, so if he gets a kill, maybe 2 kills. I mean, it's a stretch. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one materializes, especially when you consider they don't have Kevlar on Farlig or Stico, so as much stock as they're putting in, it's still the good old half buy, really. So we'll have to wait to see how this goes.
Cute little boost. Does get spotted out. So at least some information gathered that GODSENT are within middle. Tessus as well will make things a lot more difficult if GODSENT decide to approach, set up for any sort of an execute. They only have 1 smoke, 1 flash, and a Molotov. You can see they're very conscious of connector. Tess is still not moving a muscle within it, though.
And a quick contact play later on into the round could go the way of GODSENT, but Heroic's positioning is incredibly good over here. Cadian spots out a player, now spraying through the smoke. Is unable to really connect on anyone. Does some damage, but not the kill. 40 seconds on the clock. Rotations can still come through, and like you said before, Tessus is frozen stiff. Don't close your eyes or he'll come even closer. Tessis comes alive with 2 quick ones and even has a chance to fade away because GODSENT's spacing allows just that. Reload is needed, but he's not going for it. 3 bullets in the gun and pulls out the USB instead. Crystal finally to find him and picks up the Farmers for his trouble. A 3 versus 4 with 2 pharmacists is doable, but it needs Martin to come alive with the deco. And as he goes forward, that's exactly what happens. Zen finds another and the second. Suddenly a 2 versus 1. M4 recovered. Martin has Kevlar as well. Nico, no utility. So GODSENT might be very close to stealing away around, but Nico has something to say about it. 1 versus 1, sees the shadow, and he will find the kill. There you go, but oh so close. Oh so close.
Yeah, that is such a dangerous round. Nico surviving on 20 HP, has to come up big with a 1-on-2. Other way. And a far more convincing fashion, but it keeps the money low for Heroic. Did kind of question the buy coming into the follow-up round, but because they get the bomb planted, no real issues. Like Galil having to be bought through from Crystal, but full nade sets for the GODSENT players, so they can work the map appropriately. Crystal now taking some short water control alongside Stiko. And a decent amount of damage exchanged. Nico down to 33.
Important nade over there. Does a little bit less damage than I thought it would, but even so, Cadian's found the first. It's Martin to fall. Cadian took the peek out into connector with the AWP, and the bomb is recovered afterwards. Now, Tess's positioning is incredibly important, but Stiko's found down, and that actually makes things slightly more touchy for the CT side. They don't know where they have to go, but they'll at least know they're rotating back from all the way into spawn. Borup says Cowabunga as he says all the way across the monster tunnel. I'd like to think he says that at least in his head. But now the MP5 is brought down. Crystal to be the one to take him away.
Yeah, now that the Surfer dude's been eliminated. Oh my goodness, Crystal jumping on Nico's head.
Stiko within the madness will fall and is back to a 2v2. Farlig and Zen oh so low, and they know they need to be aggressive because of it, but the AWP on the other side makes it a little bit more touchy. Cadian keeps scoping forward. The CT player will fall. Don't know if they're willing to peek onwards. Tessis is on full HP, has the ultimate advantage, but as he proceeds forward, the bomb's not quite planted for him. Cadian finds the first. Farlig is trying to save his trigger for the 2, but unfortunately just isn't able to get it done. Again, despite it getting very close, Heroic are able to save the day.
Heroic that GODSENT are going to once again buy into. They are on that max loss bonus. They do get the bomb planted, so they can consistently go for this if they get those conditions met. Martin, bit of a different pace towards middle. Ooh, Stiko's trying to pull something off through the monster tunnel. Does receive a tag from the Molotov. That's information that can be relayed over to Heroic. Such a silly round, the round prior. Goomba Stomp not finding anything, and while Stiko brought down as the lurking player towards B. That's the second time this has happened now where GODSENT haven't really shown too much form elsewhere on the map, and while Tess is pushing that advantage further, though it does get traded, again, it's information bled over to Heroic.
Cadian's waiting for them to come in, and Nico's found the first. Cadian follows up right there, leaving just Crystal alive with only 2 questions to ask. The first is, can he get this done? And the second, as he dies, is, what's a Goomba Stomp?
You know, reference to Mario.
No individuals popping up for them outside of Zen.
That would be a really deflating way to end up in a third map.
Yeah.
After such a grueling first. Heroic, it is a 5-0 start, but it hasn't been the most comfortable as of yet. Yes. You can see that reflected on their economy. Only 2k in the pockets of a few players on Heroic. They've been dealing the damage. Katie in high pressure situation, does get forced back, has to find an exit, and he's actually lingering around, trying to rattle off a couple shots with the AWP. Could have gotten caught in transition, but GODSENT missed the timing.
Still plenty of time on the clock and plenty of players on the map. Tessis peeks out and he is overwhelmed. 4 players peeking into him in the toilets. It's a little bit much even for him. Crystal, please pass the M4 over to someone who has more HP than you. But, there you go. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that one. But the full rotation out from T-Spawn might actually catch Heroic off guard over here. They've not got anyone inside the B-bomb site itself, though I do believe Borg's playing from heaven. Minimap can be a bit odd even on Overpass. There's some verticality involved. And yeah, so they're rotating back. 50 seconds on the clock. GODSENT will at least have made their way through Monster Tunnel for, to say, the very, very bare minimum. But Borp's scouting position is really what matters. Cadian gets the first. Borp is still moving forward, trying to get the duel, but he can't decide. And he falls because of it. Again, we find ourselves in a 3v3 as Stown at least equalizes, but the bomb is down. And Cadian, he can't really find them. Stown on B short, his position is known, and he's very low. And as Farlig will be creeping forward, even if Farlig falls, Stown can be traded, and indeed he is. 2v2 with another gun recovered. Both M4s alive. AWP in the hands of Cadian makes it so tricky, and the flashbang's great. Stiko, off the back of Stown, finds the flash. Cadian, though, in a 1v1, still finding it out, getting aggressive. Inside the corner of B short he goes, and he's spotted out, but he can't get the kill. Now faking out the defuse, and it's GODSENT who will get the round, even if Cadian gets away. And that flashbang picked up, that's huge.
Yeah, it's monumental. Because it makes not only the approach from Heroic slowed down significantly because of it, it's just a fully flashed opponent just around the other corner. So it pushes Cadian into that 2 versus 1, and they play it well. He does still hold on to the AWP. That's a silver lining for Heroic. But this is a swinging moment now for either side. Money not really that great for GODSENT. They do sit on a lot higher loss bonus. They need something different here from Heroic. They go for a couple of boosts around the map. One towards Connector, one on the B site as well. Get nothing from it as GODSENT are defaulting. Again, Stiko creeping out through the smoke on Monster is really hoping to capitalize, but it's really Heroic that are taking space away. They've cleared out the Connector.
Stown finding the kill as well, and with connector control established firmly by Heroic, this is heavily counteracting what GODSENT like to play off of. The problem is always going to be going into connector when there's 2 CTs there, even 1. Ooh, good luck with that. It's very difficult to get past. Now, Farlig and company seem to want to bypass connector entirely. 50 seconds on the clock, though, means that time is whittling down, and they might have to go for it regardless. Cadian. AWP at the ready, sees the hip of a GODSENT player, but can't quite connect. And as he's spotted, he'll be rounding the corner, and he's going for the shot. Waits too long, and Crystal, of all players, will be the one to overwhelm. Nico at the ready, but Molotov at its feet. And the full carpet comes in. The T's cannot make their way forward without getting the kill on Borp. And as they do finish them all off, that's Heroic to fall and fluster. And Michael, where you're saying Cadian on the AWP is a silver lining, it's also a bit of a poisoned chalice. As they drink from it, but they buy up all around it. Otherwise, if Cadian dies there, I'm sure they're safe. Now, their economy is devastated. Stown, as well as being hunted down, GODSENT knows it's much more important to get the skill rather than actually saving their own weapons.
Yeah, they throw resources at it. And you're absolutely right. The thing is, if Cadian gets that kill over towards long, that changes the dynamic of that A-side approach from GODSENT so significantly. There's a critical duel to be won. Mind versus mind. In-game leader versus in-game leader. And well,
Crystal used to be an opera, so you can technically say opera versus opera.
Yeah, I suppose. There's a good bit of movement as well from Crystal. Not only spotting, got on the jump spot, deploying utility, and just making it so awkward for Cadian throughout.
I thought it was modern.
Yeah. You don't usually see flary plays like that from Crystal.
Yep. And Heroic. This time over. There goes the train, and there goes the MAC-10. Finds itself 2 kills, then as well, padding up. Not that he really needs it. He's sitting on 12 for 5, and he'll finish on 13. Third round on the board from GODSENT. Keep all of their rifles alive. Pretty much perfect stuff. And this is another one of the reasons why I really respect Crystal, is that on the teams that Crystal's on, you don't see useless AKs spawn. And the reason why I would say him having an AK there would be useless is because you know they're all on USBs. Just get it Mac 10. There's so much economic upside to having one Mac 10, which can potentially get 2 kills in that situation. It's fantastic.
Well, this is the opportunity now for GODSENT to equalize. They win this round, it'll be a save from Heroic in the follow-up. Could be a 5-5, but with Borup getting tagged to such low HP, that crack, a small opening that they have set their sights on, it's a little brighter. See a bit more light shining through. I'm surprised Heroic aren't going a little bit more aggressive as well. They're limited on utility. You expect them to really hinge themselves on that.
Steeko also knows where the second player is now that smoke's been thrown. He knows they're going to be coming back, and he's got the kills. Down to fall as well. Borup's the second player, but he doesn't have HP. And this is what I was talking about, especially because Borup is ideally the player who wants to get aggressive when he's playing that close, but now he's left alone. At least he's good for the first kill despite his low HP, and he's trying to spray transfer through, but Zen still finishes him off. 4 versus 3, and Heroic will turn around and try to go for a save. Question is, does GODSENT hunt? Because I'd really like to see them go for it. Their money is surprisingly solid for a team that's been, you know, pummeled down as much as it has, but it also does come off the back of quite a few very close rounds against Heroic.
Yeah, you can afford to lose a couple of rifles here if you're GODSENT, and a lot more importance is placed on that for Heroic. Absolutely. Because I was painting the picture of an easier 5th round for the GODSENT T side. But if these rifles stay around, then it can always prove to be a difficulty. And I like that we've at least seen from the gun rounds from Heroic, they're placing an increased amount of emphasis on connector as well. Reading into the game plan for GODSENT, we've seen them go for, I mean, Tess is just unmoving in the connector. We've seen them double up. See them go for a boost as well. And that's what surprised me a little bit about that lower buy from Heroic, because they were missing out on Molotovs and nades and the sort. That's when you actually associate that risk as being a bit more rewarding.
Borup proceeds forward, CZ in hand, but Tessus with the kill. Great smoke thrown out by them just to make sure that the B-bomb site players have a little bit more room to work around. Now, as GODSENT moves forward up from long, they still have to be so incredibly careful because they know that Heroic have saved the 3 weapons before, so there's still a buy on the other side. I'm surprised they didn't recover the AK, actually.
I like that you highlight the smoke, because that smoke was awesome.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. But Tessus, he's got them off. He's only got 1 though. Flashbangs are great, but Nico keeps it in their favor. Stown on the CZ, forced to reload. Barley's given enough time to get the quick kill, and Stown around the corner being watched from either side. But Cadian is the savior. Cadian though left on the toilet's position, had to have Borup step up and get the quick kill. GODSENT. They dropped the all-important round, Michael. The all-important equalizer.
God, that set play there from Heroic was so good to watch. Deep smoke on Monster around the barrels where T-sides will typically default. That is so well designed. And it's something that Heroic pull out because they know how important that round is off of a scrappier buy. Crystal, a lot of nade damage received. Stown will finish him off, and then Borup aggressive through the smoke. Steeko's been doing that so far, so much in this half. Okay, Modern, that's a Hail Mary trade, spamming him through. Did hear the smoke bouncing around, so he's able to echolocate him. But still a significant man advantage here for Heroic.
And these are 2 players who haven't been having the best of games. Farley will fall as well. Modern at least gets himself the second, but I mean, he's doubled up his kills already by doing that, and we're 10 rounds into it. You can see the problem right now for GODSENT, I think, lies in the flakiness of the individuals.
Yeah.
Zen is 15 years old, so, you know, he does have a lot of tenure into the game. He's played a lot with Crystal. If he wants to transition over, I wouldn't be mad about it.
How much of a sponge can you really be?
Yeah. I mean, he was with Crystal and Penta as well. He's with Crystal on this iteration of the roster, there's a lot of places where he's been, you know, really rocking and rolling.
Well, rocking and rolling. That's what Zen's come into at the start of this map. Teammates, not so much. They've got the earmuffs on. They haven't been listening to the same music.
They're the kind of people who warn you about tinnitus at a concert.
You're sitting a little too close to those speakers, boy. Gonna damage your ears.
Yeah, maybe not headbang so hard.
You see a few different faces from Heroic as well. They've gone for deeper control towards mid and connector. They've put a bit more emphasis on short and long in that particular round, just taking individual fights. And now they play passive. All the ownership on what happens into this round given into GODSENT's control, so they can take bathrooms, they can work through mid without having to expend utility. But Cadian, posted on the angle with the AWP, does strike first. Has a teammate as well that is taking a lot of damage, but gets additional information and additional tags on GODSENT.
Bit of an awkward first Molotov. Clips the corner. It happens sometimes, not a big deal, but that's his angle, so troublesome to deal with. Crystal again lurking on long, not able to find anything. Now the 3v5 comes in as they're proceeding forward. Nades are still on point. Steeko, sure, you're good for one, but unfortunately, got to be good for all five at this point. As he's left alone versus three, he's proceeding forward and he can't quite get the kill. Tessis will finish him off, and there you have it. GODSENT, their money is now gone completely.
Yeah. Really smart play from Tessis at the end there as well. As soon as Steeko gets that kill, he just bolts it. Knows that he can just wait and play the numbers advantage.
And Michael, I mean, I don't want to kind of harp on it, but it does seem like the one round where they decided to save two players, that did really mess with their economy and momentum to the point where Heroic got a free 5-0 start. After that, GODSENT's been pretty good. We saw them getting up to 5-4, and sure, since then Heroic's been able to really do a bit more, but you start to wonder for yourself, what happens if they get their full gun rounds maybe a little bit earlier than that?
And it's just some of the late round decision making as well when they're in the 4-on-3. Okay, Steeko, Deeg, almost a run and gun as well because he missed the first shot. But if they had hunted in that 4 versus 3, maybe this doesn't happen because it was those saved over rifles that help.
Absolutely.
Get the ball rolling a little further on the CT side. Well, this seems to be a fairly easy cleanup. It is still equal in numbers, but they have these long sight lines that will be very difficult to approach from for GODSENT, especially without utility. To get another Deeg, especially on KD, and this could certainly open things up.
Tessis is ready to go for a flank, though, so with that Molotov going out from Cadian, they'll be delayed for long enough, and the nade as well is nicely placed. Cadian is playing them like a fiddle right now, goes in for the second. Zen and Martin to fall makes it a very unlikely round, and although he misses the third, he will be given more opportunities, but teammates to steal those away. 9-4, Heroic are once again in the exact same position as they were on Nuke, where if they win this round, it should be an 11-4 scoreline, and GODSENT are going to be in a much more tricky situation. Zen's still top-ranking across the server, though. That's very impressive. And Borb, he's really not having a good day. 4-8 right now, admittedly. There's been a lot of places where he's been unlucky with a spray through smoke or so, but even so.
Yeah, he's your monster and barrels player, right? So if it has been approaches towards the B site, they've been late round aggressions from GODSENT. Very hard to predict. Or multi-frag, for that matter. Connector control for GODSENT at the start of this one. Cadian already primed on the angle. There's a timing where he'll have to fall back, and it is coming up soon. Thing is, he's actually lingering a little longer. Flash. Oh, it catches Cadian, so he has to fall, and that's good presence of mind from GODSENT.
Oh, that's a really good flashbang. Wow. Cadian waits for them to make their presence known, but he's not backing off. He knows information over toilets is incredibly important. But look at this. This is huge. This is massive. Stiko has to get a few kills there, and through the smoke he gets one. Expects a second, and that's Borp to fall with this heroic. Desperately trying to walk up water. Nico has found the first, and a smoke behind him means he's got place to back off through as well. Gets almost 3 kills, but Martin at least trades over there. 3v2, but
the
nade will equalize. Bomb can't be planted either because of it, and as Cadian moves forward with the AWP, he knows it's now being planted, pulls out the CZ, proceeds forward, finds a quick kill, headshot to the back of Crystal's skull, and at least falling in a 1v2. AK in hand at the ready, can't spray, can't get it done. And you have to be asking yourself, just a little bit more firepower, just a little bit more. And GODSENT, this is a completely different game for them.
The decision-making from Heroic in the mid-round has been pretty much picture perfect. Even when they have these lesser weapons, if they're put in uncomfortable spots, in that 2 versus 2, Cadian reads it so well. Very, very difficult. And you're right, it has been close enough for GODSENT to think, we could have had a few more rounds here. But Heroic have narrowly taken those advantages. Cadian fancied a peek in through middle with the AWP. Gonna be denied those chances. The flashes force him back. And Stiko, oh my goodness, he's been tagged by spam. He's been naded. He's on 15 HP. He's not even seen anyone. Fortunately for GODSENT though, Zen does accomplish a frag. That's a bit of connector presence made.
Cadian's quite aggressive this time over though. And it seems like Heroic have chosen that the B bomb side is not where they will aggress for information. Instead, it shall be towards connector, perhaps. Borb. Ready and waiting. Not had the highest of direct impact, but maybe this could be the round for him. 50 seconds and GODSENT setting up for a full monster hit, but with 2 players on the other side having a perfect crossfire, this will be so difficult. Borb gets 1 traded immediately. Stiko with 2 on the entry though makes things completely different. Smoke goes forward. Cadian again can't really get a good sideline over, but that nade is everything. Finds Martin yet again, and good damage on top of it. Bomb will go down, and as Cadian rounds the corner, he'll be met by a player who he cannot shake hands with. Volley goes over as well. Cadian on the repeat gets another, and it's now a 2 versus 2, Michael. Volley has to step up. There's been so many opportunities for him, and he pushes forward. Cadian will fall, and the second will evade him. Then around the corner he comes, and he's put the cherry on top. 17 and 10.
Hasn't even come from the top fragger. It's the second of that from Stiko. These double entries, these double kills that he's finding has been creating a lot of room. But now this is where the real issue lies. 10 rounds for Heroic, 5 for GODSENT. You look and highlight the pistol as being the place to start, to get the CT side economy at least in a comfortable enough position. Otherwise Heroic could run away with this. Door open. Oh, that's perfect for the boost.
Beautiful stuff. They're just setting up for this pistol round perfectly, and Zen's still spamming, but Stiko's the one to get 2 more kills. That all comes down to Stown, and although he's been given a very nice P250, that's a Membi. South Asian origin skin, love it, but not necessarily one which can get all that much done over here, Michael.
God, it's such a cute play as well. To go for the boost and then open up the door. Heroic were so unprepared. And unless Stown is a miracle worker, this is a GODSENT pistol round 1. There are some chances. They are swarming the bomb, however, so what limited space he's been able to achieve should be factored in. Yeah, Stown spotted, so they can read this appropriately. Need to slow him down. And surely, they're all stacked up on the same angle. It's a triple peek. Don't go into it. Oh, okay. Rounds the corner. Bit of a jump scare. Good round for GODSENT.
Oh, man. I hope we get a replay of that one as well. But, of course, these are slightly more important. The quick kills that they're able to get. Stiko as well follows up with a few of his own. But, yeah. 10-6. Heroic will go for the full... Ooh, interesting.
Full save.
They go for
no
the
bomb
full
plan?
save. You almost never see that these days. And unfortunately for them, this could be perfect for what GODSENT's brought into this round. They've got 3 MP9s. So I guess maybe GODSENT had a bit of a read over here on this. Maybe this is something that Heroic like to go for in general on Overpass. But first, the MP9s have to get some kills.
And they'll be playing hot potato with the Deagle as well. Nico will look for duels. If he loses, that will swap hands quickly. They'll take their turns at it.
Oh, Modern scouts out of player. Farlig knows that there's a few more coming in from behind, but it's Modern to provide cleanup services. Gets 1, 2, 3. USP pulled out, and I have to say, Nico, I don't think that's how hot potato is supposed to work. You're not supposed to be the one left alone in the end, so maybe we didn't quite get the right game. Long-range shot from the MP9 will at least recover them the kill.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go for a faster collapse like that, just investing in a couple P250s for the same amount of money is...
Yeah.
The Deagle probably makes a little bit more sense, but hey, who am I to question? Heroic. They go for that save in the second round. Something we saw definitely at the start of the economy changes, definitely out of favor as of late.
I think it's also that Heroic saw what happened in the previous game and they don't want to let GODSENT have a second half that starts off too soon, you know? Just bring the gun round out ASAP. Tessus, unfortunately, has been tagged up the wrong side. And Zen with a flashbang very nicely placed allows him to go forward with the MP9 and completely destroy connector presence. That's so lovely.
Yeah, they don't know whether he's still staying in the connector, whether he's made his exit because of the smoke. The door being closed, some sound cues being given up. That could also still be a feign. You can see Heroic aren't really investigating that direction. They just have to be very conscious that that is a possibility. Do regroup up outside of B. They have some utility to spare. A couple of smokes. They can line up for an execute or a quicker play. Tessus throwing one over towards Heaven. And that's thrown just to keep GODSENT guessing.
Yep.
Still no information, nobody close enough to spot here for GODSENT, and now with 30 seconds left, now the hit comes.
And now they've had the information, them proceeding forwards and playing from the angle. Great shot from him to take down Caden, and Estico's found one as well. This is going to be huge from Crystal. The MP9, perfect place for it too. The mobility can be so important, but Crystal misses his shots, and Zen is left to finish things off. Even so, that's job well done. GODSENT up to 8, set up for 9. Michael, I have to say, I am still very worried for the side of GODSENT because traditionally when you have one player popping off, it's better to have him on the T side. But with Stico now stepping up to the playing field, one more player is all it'll take.
Yeah.
Heroic's not having the best of times even now.
And I will say, it's something that's hard to measure when we're just kind of witnessing the game as a spectator. But as far as we can tell, the communication from both of these teams has been pretty much flawless. Every time there's a player that's been tagged up, a nade quickly follows it up. We saw that from Heroic on their CT side. GODSENT show us that as well.
And whenever that's happening, you know that CD signs is ready to start popping off. And on Overpass, a dangerous CT sign. That is a scary beast. And, well, it seems like Heroic, their timings might have just been red, actually. Very early smokes get thrown out. And as they'll be flashing themselves forward, Barlik peeks out and sees they've gone through it. Gets himself one, refaces out for the second, and with Modern providing backup, he's good to back off. Modern gets another, and that's the easiest cleanup of their lives right there and then. Heroic will have a buy in the next one, yes, but GODSENT with all 5 players alive and now starting to accumulate money as well.
Yeah, we should see the AWP come out for Caden. Yeah, a little bit dicey on the spray. It's a little closer than it has to be.
It's okay. He's an opera. We don't fault him for that.
Yeah, that is true. If there's anybody you give leeway to, it is certainly him. We'll see if they can get things done. Lurk smoke out at the start of the round here from Heroic. Stico playing around the other side of it. And they may read into this. Oh, taking Sanctuary in the smoke. He's close. Do Heroic even realize they're bypassing? They're running right past him. Stico actually performing a very quick flank as a result. And they don't clear him. Bomb drop. Gone and exposed. Caden, fortunately for enough for them, was watching the flank, so he's dealt with. that could have really cascaded out of control. A 3-on-3, now hot on their heels, and Cadian's given up the angle. Zen could flank as well.
Zen came in from B short, so they don't know he's here, and they think their flank is safe because of Cadian's positioning. They can't possibly expect this. Zen, this is the perfect spot to be at the perfect time as well. Cadian will get another yes, but that just means Zen has a little bit more to do, and he's able to move past. He gets himself two, and he knows Cadian's position as well. Cadian in a 1-on-2, smoked off to boot, and Modern has a smoke as well as bomb control. So getting onto this side is going to be nearly impossible. They're not going to be facing off against this AWP, at least not alone. They're positioning themselves perfectly together. Second smoke as well goes through. And Cadian has to swing all the way out from short to catch off these players. And even then, you have to get two of them. So he's proceeding forward, 20 seconds on the clock. It's ticking away, and they're checking for it. Modern comes in, makes it happen, and one solitary moment where Zen's able to creep past in through short. That's what leads to this 2K. Oh my goodness, that's just perfection. Stiko's chaos obviously has to be credited as well.
Yeah, it's just the added layer of chaos added on top. The fact that Cadian's holding the flank with an AWP is a little bit strange in itself, because you can just work the site slowly, but because of the pace that Heroic were going at, that's the best spot for him, really. I'm just surprised he gave up the angle, because he had to be worried about a flank from Connector, any sort of push through mid that GODSENT may have thrown. Really well done. And it's that equalizer. It's double digits for GODSENT, really applying the pressure here for Heroic, yet to register around on this T side.
Then peeks out, gets the first, keeps it spraying, almost a second, but not quite. Crystal has to come in and finish him off, but Crystal doesn't just want sloppy seconds, he wants even more. Unfortunately, Borb served it up to him. 2v2 with Heroic being very low. How many times have we seen GODSENT lose these exact same rounds on their own side, but no nade kill? This time over. Oh, changed my mind right there. Why don't you, Farley? Secondary one will follow through and finish him off. Nico now left in a 1 versus 2. Hoping that he can pull out a miracle. Waiting for them to come in. His HP is not fantastic, but he's playing a great angle around it. And as they white peek forward, Modern will get the kill and finish things out there. And then nicely done from GODSENT to recover a bit of a tricky situation.
The utility usage.
Both these teams, isn't it?
Yeah, it really has been a marvel. How many nade kills have we seen to finish off low HP opponents? Now we get the double nade as well.
It's also somehow always in a 2v2.
Yeah. And it's a testament as well to how both of these teams have been playing. They haven't been applying equal pressure across the map, so these rotates, these clutch plays, they'll have utility to spare. Oh my goodness. I was going to say, I thought Stown may have found a timing that GODSENT may not predict. He's playing as a lurker in this round, just getting some short control instead. The nades seem to indicate that GODSENT have that in the back of their minds. Farlig posted on the angle. They're ready to round this corner here for Heroic.
Oh, Farlig can't quite get the
I love
shot,
this.
But this is interesting. They even try and get the boost over. Modern, with the help of the smoke, at least has a bit more leeway to back off as well. And with this, they go back and get Toilets control immediately afterwards. And they know that how many players are in long. Farlig was never expected by Nico there at all. They pushed all the way through, and they can do that because now Crystal's on the bomb site as he rotated back. Zen's also in a great position to rotate if they need him to, but it's Modern to go all the way forward, and Farlig is even watching for another one. Flashbang will at least force him back off the angle, but he's more than happy to repeat and see if they're coming in, and because of this one smoke, they can feel a bit more comfortable rotating the players over to an aggressive position. Stiko flashed up, is forced to back off, but Zen's good for one. Stiko follows up. Beautiful stuff as Caden at least gets one, but Stiko almost gets a second through the gap in the plywood. Cadian now aggressing forward, has to get the shot, but he's not good for it. Trade is there, and now Borup and Farlig are in a 1 versus 1. And Farlig is creeping in, and he's got it done. M4 picked up to do it as well. Heroic won so many clutches on their CT side, so many. But GODSENT have now a streak of 7 rounds unbroken going into the second half.
Oh my god, how many 2v2s have we seen this map alone? On both CT sides. That's where they find the edge.
Number one team who, says GODSENT?
And if you look back a month ago, you watch GODSENT play, Farlig doesn't make peaks like that. He has undergone such a growing process on this GODSENT side as they've risen up. And oh, Heroic, they're going balls to the wall, quick towards B. Stiko overran by the MAC-10. Farlig letting the first one pass, but he gets the bomb. And the second one fully flashed up. It's perfectly played. Crystal not able to get things done as Stown equalizes. It's again a 2-on-2, but this time Madden may not even allow the post plant. Zen hot on their heels, lining up the first, a 1-on-1. Stown's on low HP, and he hears the rotation away. Madden has information to play off of, but there's so much time.
My God.
Madden doesn't let him escape. GODSENT, another round, and another round where they only survive with 1.
The CTs are walking a tightrope made of money, and they will fall off the second they lose a single round. The cushion that they were given from the first few rounds, that's been lasting them all this time, but Heroic, they've had poison chalices before, and now will be no different. Now again, they are buying into this with Galils, because they know that the CT economy is stressed. But if there's anyone stressed, it's us right now, Michael. How will these rounds ever materialize in a 2v2 and a 1v1? How many times do we have to see this come through?
Yeah. It's mad because quite often on T sides, you'll see just 1 or 2 rounds where they'll get the site, 4 players staying up, maybe even just a 1-man advantage. But it's when they're actually getting the sites that it comes into these equal affairs. And it has been so consistent this entire map.
Van is 27-14. Speaking of consistent this entire map, man's nothing but consistent. Martin, he's had a bit of a pick-me-up since the second half has begun, and he's feeling slightly better about himself. Smoke to assist him, even gives him a small bit of gap to work around. Farlig, good for the first. Martin playing inside the smoke. They're not going to be expecting him. He's never done this so far. Zen goes down short, but this is great setup for Martin to come through and deliver the execution, but he's missed his initial shots. Farlig is saving the day, though, and Martin follows up. Stown left alone, and he will fall. This time, they keep 3 players alive, and Farlig's skills...
See at the top of your screen. 9 rounds in a row.
Yep.
They've really hit a brick wall on this T side. And the thing is, it's not even a well-structured brick wall. It is, it's just the buildings of one. And you just cannot vault over the 2-inch high wall.
You just keep slipping on the bricks as they're falling down.
Yeah, and I've got many a concussion.
Problem is, sometimes the bricks fall on your head, and now Tessis is hoping to be that very same brick. Now he goes forward, 2 opening kills with the Tech 9, and this is the best they've ever looked. But Zen, he's found at least 1 and maintains control over B-Shot in the process. Martin pushes through, goes all the way up for Monster. They're not going to be expecting him, but look at this. They're trying to rotate forward, and this is so much pressure on to the Heaven player. Farlig, if he doesn't get a kill over here, this is game over. He gets 1, yes, but even so, 2 versus 3. Zen proceeds forward. Can he find an AK-47 over here? He should be able to pick one up from Heaven, but Heroic themselves have got plenty of firepower too. But are they expecting a player to come through all the way from connector? Zen moving inwards. Oh my God. And he's found the angle again and again. Zen is threading the needle, and he's distracted so much information away from them as well. Zen inside the smoke. He goes MP9 at the ready. It's an SMG. You know he wants to push through it. But Heroic, their players coming in from the side. Cadian, Tech 9 at the ready. He has to care for so many different angles. And Martin, as he finds one, at least Cadian trades on the other side. A 1 versus 1, and Martin doesn't have HP. But Martin's got the angle, and he can at least try and fake out the defuse. Oh. And Cadian to save the day. Tech 9s and a 1v1 is how Heroic are able to get their first round on the terrorist side. Not a recipe for consistent success, but at least they finally break the GODSENT economy.
And it's the fastest entries you'll see over towards B on the Tech 9s for Heroic that get it done. They weren't even content with the B site, because how many times have they taken that and been fast flanked, taken out by connector pressure from GODSENT? They go A instead. And oh, Borup, good start, good entry. As that GODSENT money, it was broken as a result of that one round because of how close it has been. That tightrope, they finally slip.
It's been a bit ridiculous, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And well,
on the
we talked
bright
about
side,
some of the money issues for Heroic.
Yes.
Now they get a clean round, so at least a little buffer.
Look, if you're a fan of GODSENT, on the bright side, they did have that one round where they won with 3 players alive, so they actually have enough money to buy up the op on Farley. But even so, utility is not really there, and for Heroic, this is as good a time as any. If you win this round, GODSENT have to save a game. They don't have max loss bonus, so they will have to full save in the next one.
Oh, the triple boost?
Buy.
They didn't spot it.
Well, Modern, this would be the worst possible round for Heroic to fall. They're dropping 2 players.
Oh.
Modern, it's a sloppy spray, but he's still good for it. He's still good for it. 5 versus 3. This could have been the round that led Heroic to 14, but instead, it seems like GODSENT are leading their way to match point. Myth smoke, though. Maybe it gives some room to Nico.
This player rounds the corner. That'll be dangerous. Nico tapping away, showing that there is that gap, and he almost lines up too. Takes out that back player. The close one would have been a surefire kill as well. It's a miss on both. Borup out with the bomb towards Monster. Stown trying to create some room and space as he's very separate.
GODSENT is rotating though. GODSENT's not falling for this, and Crystal knows where the second player is. Crystal sees the Molotov coming over. He'll be peeking out soon enough, but that is 2 very low terrorist side players. Crystal surfs backwards. 30 seconds on the clock, and there you have it. GODSENT up 15-12.
Oh,
That's
it's
huge,
just
man.
what a time to pull out the boost as well. And the thing is, I think Nico, when he first initially cleared out short, he spotted it, but it's on his peripheral vision. And then maybe it's 4x3, or maybe it's just only catching a glimpse.
He did get 4x3 before as well in Nuke, so.
But I don't know whether it was even in a position where it matters. Either way, it's not spotted out by Heroic, and it makes all of the difference. Farleague trying to get aggressive with the AWP.
Double up.
And it's not going to be spotted out. Yeah, you're right. The double up setup. Madden wielding the secondary.
First time we've seen that all across the series. GODSENT have been pulling out a lot of firsts, but taking a win over the first place team in the world would be pretty big for them. All I'm saying is Fun Plus Phoenix, get ready for a phone call saying, yeah, they cost $500,000 more now.
Whoa.
Hey, I mean, Cloud9 picked up 80K after the big G2 at 1 land, so hey. Nico and company, though. Setting up for what looks to be a B-side play. We haven't seen too much of a full execution come through. Heroic have largely been relying on walking through smokes and making contact plays, but maybe this could be the time where they throw the Hail Mary. Flashbang getting ready and primed up. Zen. So good so far. 30 kills in him now, and as the flashbang makes its way over, Zen should be able to follow through, but he's not quite committing to the angle. Now with the flashbang coming in, Martin and Zen both good for a few, and this is the B bomb site that cannot be penetrated. Nico, Troy takes down Crystal, but there's still so many players all around holding all the major angles. They smoke off short, but a secondary flashbang will keep them at bay. Nade as well is there. Zen moves past the smoke and reveals his position with the AK, sprays through as he sees the barrel of the gun. And it's all Nico left alone. 1 versus 2, 6 seconds on the clock, fakes it out as well, but now he has to commit. They don't have time for it. Nico will be good for 1, but not like this. 16.